how to remove faux locks. This is our sit down, take down removal service. So first you want to see if it's going to budge at the root, and this one is not. This is actually human hair faux locks. So I'm going to cut off all of the hanging pieces first, removing those. And then, there was one more. And then I am going to cut the bulb. And then it should unravel. And some of it did. And so that must have been like the last rotation. But this next rotation is not budging. So what we are going to have to do is just keep pulling it down until it loosens up. And then from there you want to take your scissors and you're cutting the outer layer. And so you're just taking your scissors almost like if you are cutting like bands from when you get surgery. You're gonna cut up and then you'll be able to unravel. I'm trying to explain, I can't think of it, but it's almost like a surgeon. You're gonna just cutting up and away from the braid, so you're not cutting any hair, and the only hair that you're cutting is the wrapped hair. And you can see it just unravel. And so this client, her hair is it is a shorter length. So it looks like the person that did it had to add at least 3 to 4 additional pieces in order to get the length of it. And so you're going to see me kind of figuring out where her hair ends and the braiding hair begins. And so I did not cut her hair at all in any while removing these faux locks. And these were like the most difficult to remove. Just because of the time period that they were left in, but also because of the hair. It was like human hair, but it was like really matted and everything. Usually with faux locks, you're supposed to be able to twist it the opposite way and cut, and then they just unravel, but not with this particular type. So you're just seeing me cut and pull, cut and pull, cut and pull. And that's about it. It's pretty easy. It's best to have someone else do it than you're doing this method, just because you don't want to cut your hair. And faux locks, I just think that it's just best for someone else to take them out as well. And you can see me actually comparing the length of her hair that we already took out with the current one, and I'm cutting a little bit further down than that length. And I'm taking the 3-round comb and unraveling that 3-strand braid that was done with braiding hair. And you're going to see that was one of the inclusions, so we're going to remove that off and just continue unraveling that braid. Did I say inclusion? That was one of the extensions that was added, one of the feed-ins that was added, and then we're just going to pull it down. Yeah. So, okay, now I'm taking my right tail and I'm just going to unravel the rest of the way. All right, so that was the next little feed in, and now we're starting to see some of her hair, as well as with the braiding hair that was started attached to her hair at the root. Now the hair that is just really shiny and kinky, that is the actual braiding hair. So that's the Calacaline hair that they use to braid it down. And you can tell that it's the braiding hair because now it's getting tangled. Usually when it's your hair, you're not going to have to worry about it getting tangled when you're, removing the actual 3 strands. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, these was pretty difficult to take out. The whole head took us at least 2 hours to remove, and now I'm making a difference between her hair and the braiding hair. So we're gonna go ahead and snip off that braiding hair portion, making it very easy for us, because that's the part that was getting tangled. So we're removing that, and then it's just going to be pretty easy removing the rest of it. But like I said, I do suggest that someone else remove the faux locs, especially if you had them in there for a while. And if you're in a Durham area, I can do that for you. But it's just easier. It'll be so much easier, and a less higher chance of you cutting your own hair with removing these. So, and if the person that actually offers that did this service for you, if they offer removal, I highly suggest you schedule with them to actually remove, just because they know their work, right? So yeah, but that's about it. I'm about to cut that last piece off, and then you're going to see me in another view removing another one, pretty much doing the same thing, and then I'll come back in with showing you what I use to actually get rid of all that buildup before we actually go into the shampooing. Okay, so now we are about to move this build up. So I like to use It's Natural's Rosemary Stimulation Spray. First of all, it feels amazing on the scalp, especially when you're removing a protective style. But spraying it on the buildup actually helps remove the buildup. It makes it very easy for it to slip out. And so I'm just using my fingers, rubbing it through, and just being very gentle because her hair is in a fragile state, especially your hair stay in a fragile state when you are removing a protective style. And so now you're going to see me spray it again, of course at a different angle. And she's saying that it feels so good on her scalp, it feels free. So what I'm doing now is just going through and finger detangling, getting all of the shed hair out and separating, detangling, shed hair out, detangling, separating, only using my fingers so that I am removing all excess hairs. And that's going to help with the shampooing process. So that was all the shed hair that was in that section, right? And so, but this helps with the shampooing process so that we can actually shampoo and not worrying about the hair tangling on itself when water hits it. So make sure you properly go through once you take your protective style out using some type of lubricant. That one is actually really good. It's from Influence. And you can order that from them. Design Essentials have one with their tonic. I like that one. It's just so many out there that you can use to soothe your scalp as well as help with remove the buildup before we go into the shampooing. And so when you are going through and detangling, try not to use any type of tools. So no wide tooth comb, no brushes, none of that while you are detangling after taking out a protective style, any type of extension styles, because your hands are enough. But like I said, the hair is extremely fragile, especially those ends. And then the scalp is tender also because it's been in, in that state of not being touched. So yeah, so just be as gentle as you can with your scalp or your client's scalp if you're a stylist. And that is like the best. That's why I actually offer takedown service, because the removal as well as the preparation for protective styles are so important. So like I was saying, the preparation as well as the removal for a protective style is extremely important because those are the two. So the preparation for it, you're actually preparing for your hair to go into, let's say, like hibernation mode, where it's not going to be touched. It's not going to, you can moisturize in one. Some of you don't even shampoo while you're in a protective style. I suggest against that. Definitely cleanse your scalp and shampoo. Or if you have like a cleansing routine, definitely continue to cleanse your scalp and your hair while you're in a protective style. But for those of you that don't, so preparation is extremely important, just because your hair needs to have as much moisture as possible going into that protective style, because 9 times out of 10 it's not going to receive any, right? We're just being honest. So at most the scalp will receive oil or some type of spray to help with itching, which is not enough, and the hair is not receiving anything. Also, because you are in a protective style, the natural oils that your hair make is not traveling down because it's wrapped up in extension hair. So, all right, and that extension hair is doing what? It's sucking up whatever you put on there, okay. So that's the preparation. It's extremely important when you are preparing for your extension styles to make sure that you're doing a very thorough cleanse, but you also want to do an extremely thorough deep conditioning process, right? I like to condition with steam. I actually like to shampoo with steam as well as condition while steaming. And that helps with giving the maximum hydration for you. So that's what I offer in my preparation packages for all those that are preparing to get extension styles. Now, the removal, the reason why I decided to offer removal of extension styles or any other type of removals is because during that removal process, your hair is extremely fragile. And because your hair is extremely fragile, it has a tendency to be very weak and break, right? Because they haven't been able to receive the moisturization that it needs in order to stay strong, the proteins, all that stuff. And so, so when a lot of us, and I say us because I've had protective styles before, tend to be ready to take it out. And so we're just going through it. We're not taking our time to remove those protective styles because we're just ready to take it out. We're ready to shampoo our hair. We're ready, to be free of them. And so with that, gentle is thrown out the window, so you have to be extremely gentle with removing these protective styles, especially with the new growth that you have, the steady hair that you have, the shaft between the new growth and your ends, and then the ends especially needs to be baby because they are extremely weak and they will break. And you don't want to have breakage. All you want to do is be able to remove all of the shed hair that was able to shed while in your protective style. That's the only hair that you want to see. And that shed hair should have a little white bulb at the end of it that will indicate that it's a shed hair and not a hair that actually have broken because it was weak, So, so that's why I offer preparation as well as removal. Like I said, this actual process took us about 2 hours. Well, it took me about 2 hours to remove. She attempted to remove it herself, but ended up cutting her hair in the front. And so it was just like, yeah, no, this is not. And, we tried to do it the way that the actual stylist did it in her removal tutorial. But because of, I guess, the type of hair, it just wasn't, it wasn't budging the way that she said to move it. So I had to do it another way. And so this was my very first time removing human hair faux locs and just faux locs period. And so I'm glad I had an opportunity to record it because I haven't really seen a lot of videos in regards to removing. I didn't even look at any videos, but just popping up and everything. I didn't see a lot of videos of people actually showing how to move it. But I do suggest that you go to the person if they offer removal, like I said before, to go to them because they know their work. And so they know where they need to cut, how they need to unravel and everything and all that. So, but I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you made it to this point, you might as well like it, girl. You might as well like the video. You might as well subscribe. I mean, I'm just saying, you might as well become a subby. You might as well go ahead and leave me a comment. Let's interact. Let's do that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off of this because I have to get ready for my next client. But I just wanted to make this video for you guys, and I hope that you enjoy it. All right. Have an amazing day. Shalom Queens. We are not just a salon, we are an experience.